Hey, everybody, and welcome to my Conquering Learning Outcomes with Digital Collaboration Professional Development Training. My name is Sadasa Gaddis, and today I will be teaching you about different digital tools and how to use those digital tools to conquer learning outcomes with the form of digital collaboration. So before we even get started, let's introduce some learning outcomes. Since we are talking about learning outcomes, we are going to have learning outcomes for this professional development training. By the end of the training, you will be able to collaborate using digital tools. You will be able to know and learn how to tackle learning outcomes digitally, and you'll be able to use collaborative digital tools by the end of the training. Now we have to figure out what is a big issue when it comes to educators and in the classroom when it comes to students learning and achieving those success goals necessary. And one of the big issues that I found was that students are having a hard time conquering their learning tasks and outcomes. Learning tasks and outcomes are very crucial when it comes to student learning because those are the different things that students should be able to know how to do by the end of the lesson. If students are not able to conquer or learn those learning tasks and outcomes, they are not successful in that standard. So this is a big problem. And one way for us to solve this problem is through the form of digital collaboration. So let's think about it for a moment. I have two questions here, and what I'm going to do is basically just read out the questions and have you answer these two questions. The first question is, how can you use digital tools to collaborate? The second question is, how can digital tools help you conquer learning outcomes? So think for a moment for these questions. You can pause this video, pause this training if you need to go ahead and jot down what you're thinking about. Okay, so now that we're back in here, we're going to go ahead and kind of break down what are learning outcomes exactly. Some of you might be educators and might be familiar with learning outcomes, while some of you may not be familiar with learning outcomes. So basically, like I was kind of mentioning before, learning outcomes are these statements, right? These statements are then used to help describe what students should be able to do, what they should know or value after completing a specific lesson. The lessons are created from different standards. So each standard is basically like the building blocks of learning. Standards are like the building blocks of learning, and your learning outcomes are the steps of those learning blocks, or like the different tasks you have to conquer in order for you to build those learning blocks to help build learning. So learning outcomes, they help to evaluate something that you are going to do. They help to, help to clarify your values, your skills, your strengths. They also help to engage. They help to engage students with the learning, and also it helps to bring forth different opportunities, different conversations, and also it also helps to like implement different skills necessary. If you downloaded the presentation, you can click on this evaluate in the picture, and then it will just take you to a little informational page about learning outcomes to learn a little bit more about learning outcomes. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the different digital tools. There are many different digital tools out there in the world for you to use, but these are just the ones that we are going to focus on today when it comes to digital collaboration. The first tool I have is Slack. And Slack is basically like this blog post setup, so you can collaborate digitally through that. It works very, very well in the classroom, and it helps to keep students engaged. Google Docs is kind of like Word, so Microsoft Word. You can compare Microsoft Word and Google Docs together. The good thing about Google Docs is that it can be accessed anywhere. You do not have to pay for it. A lot of times with Microsoft Office, you have to buy an account to pay for it. With Google, you do not have to pay for it. The only thing you need to do is create a Google account, and you have access to all the Google workspaces. Next, we have Google Slides. Google Slides is again compared to Microsoft PowerPoint. Um, and it works very, very similar to Microsoft PowerPoint, and it helps to also help students to collaborate. The next one we have is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is basically like a space that where teachers can add assignments in there, they can do grading in there, they can post different topics in there. It's a way to keep students engaged digitally. The good thing about these tools is that each one of them have a specific QR code. You can scan the QR code, it's going to take you directly to the link for you to sign up, or if you already have an account, for you to log in or create an account. It also goes in and tells you a little bit more about each tool specifically. Or if you downloaded the presentation, you can also click on each one of these and it'll take you directly to the same area if you was to scan it. So if you are watching this and following on, you can take a moment and go ahead and scan each one of these and have it in a tab. And as we are working on each tab, you can click on those tabs. So that way you don't have to you don't have to pause, go back and pause it. Pause again, go back, go back. You can just scan all of them now, save it, and then we can go ahead and get started. All right, so great that you already have those up there. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to Slack. So if I go to Slack here, it's going to take you to a it's going to take you to this page. I'm already logged in, so it didn't take me there. But it's going to take you to this page either for you to sign into Slack, or if you knew, you can create an account there. But since I'm already logged in, once you are logged in, then your page should look something similar to this. And basically what it would do, it would have different channels here. The channels are basically, you can put like subjects if you want to. If you have planning, you want to do planning with teachers, or you have professional development, random. It has many different channels here. So your channels are basically like your topics. It could be your classes, anything that you want your channels could be your channels. You can also add people on here. You can direct message people on here if you want to create a new page, because this is a page here. A new workspace, you can create a new workspace specifically, then have each channel. So let's say if you had math and you wanted to do one for just math, but you had 6 different math classes. So you could do like add a workspace, do math, and then have 6 different channels like first period, second period, so forth like that. So that's basically Slack. Google Docs. This page is going to take you to an informational page, just giving information about Google Docs. If we go to Docs, you do need a Google account for all the Google workspaces. Like I said before, you can open up a Google Doc. It's going to look very familiar, very similar to Word, and you can has a file option for you to make a copy, download. You can download at different files. So that's basically Word. Google Slides is, like I said before, just kind of like PowerPoint. So you can have a presentation. It has different layouts for you to do here. So you got all these different layouts. You can convert it to a PDF if you want to. You have different themes you can do. There are many different things that you can do here. You can do it as a presentation, of course. You can share it. You can copy a link and share it. And Google Classroom is just like a workspace. So you have all your different classes here. If you want to add a class, you can join a class or create a class here. When you create a class, it will pop up something like this for you to create it, for you to add your subject, your section, and then once you add it, it should look something like this. All right, so the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to dive deep with these tools. I'm going to show you how these tools can be used with digital collaboration. Yes, I've talked about ways that they could be used, but I feel like what more is it for me to just tell you when I can just show you how simple it is to use these tools and how simple it would be for your students to use these tools as well. I have a sample standing here because, like I said, the standards are the building block, and those learning outcomes, tasks, they come from those standards to help build on that learning. So I have a science standard here. I have a fifth grade science standard here. Again, you can use any standard this would be able to work with, any standard. It doesn't have to be fifth grade, doesn't have to be kindergarten, 12th grade, it can be any standard. Okay. All right. So the first standards that I'm focusing on is standard 8 and standard 9. I'm looking at ecosystems, interactions, energy, and dynamics, but I'm only focusing on 8 and 9 because they are energy and matter. So these are the two that I'm only focusing on for the moment. So we have Alabama Course of Study Science 5.8, as you see here. And then what I did was, from looking at my standard, I pull 2 learning outcomes from that standard, and from 9 I pull a learning outcome from that. So we're looking at 8. The learning outcome is I can use evidence to explain how energy created from the sun is stored in animals' food. And then I can describe that the energy in animals' food is used for body repair, growth, motion, and maintenance of body warmth. 5.9, I can create and use a model to explain and transfer of matter and energy between the environment and organisms within it. So those are the standards that we are working on. So let's say if I want to use Google Classroom, because Google Classroom is going to be my workspace for my students for the time being, right? And so basically, I have here my learning outcomes. And in my learning outcomes, I have them here as an announcement. So I have my learning outcomes and I have an announcement. And it said complete Google Docs assignment. So right now, we don't really have an assignment. So I'm about to show you how you can create an assignment. So if I go to classwork and we say we have energy and flow here. And I want to create an assignment. And let's say I want the assignment to be, I want them to do Google Docs. So the Google Docs is going to pop up there. And so I want it to be a Google Docs, and I want them to find ways how I want them to find ways how energy is stored in animals from the sun. Use the Google Docs, make a copy, and complete it with your peers slash group. And I'm actually going to copy and paste this in my instructions area. And I'm just going to let this be the title. Finally, sweet. Okay. And once I finish that, I'm going to assign it. You can put how many points it was worth and all that. So like if this is my assignment, if I wanted to edit, you can go here, you can add a rubric, you can add a topic. I'm adding it to the matter and energy flow topic. You can add a due date if you want to. how many points it's worth. If you want to have it ungraded, you can have it ungraded. For all students, if you have students in here, you can also send it to specific students as well. This is good. Like if you're, let's say if you're working with a small group and you want to send to specific students, you can send it to those specific students, which is nice. So then you save it. And under my topic, it has this assignment here. So like if they click on this assignment here and it said to make a copy, they can go to file and make a copy and then put like their group name. And then they can click here to share it with their specific group. So that's one way that you can use Google Classroom for that. You can also have your student join your Slack if you want them to. So let's say if we were going in Slack and we want our students to utilize Slack for something. Okay, as it's logging in, I'm just going to put it here. I'm going to add a channel. We're going to create a new channel. We're going to say 5th grade science. Okay, so I got my channel created. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy a link to their channel. So I just right clicked it and I did copy link. And then when I copy my link, I'm going back to Google Classroom. I'm going to go to my stream. I'm going to take my link and paste my link here. I'm going to add link and say join Slack for classroom digital discussion. And I have it here so they can click on it and it'll take them here. If they don't have an account, they can easily create an account. So once they are here, and then once they are being directed, it will take them directly here, and then so they can add a video. So let's say if I wanted to create a model using Canva and add your model here. Showing how energy is transferred from the sun to animals. And basically what they can do here, they can reply. As they are replying, you can have them add a video, or you can have them attach a file, and they can create a file from Canva and then add it there. If you wanted your students to use slideshow, then you can create a question. And let's say the question is, what are the we're gonna say, how can energy be used for repair and growth for animals? How can the energy from the sun be used for repair and growth. For animals. And my question here, create slide, a slideshow to show this. I want them to create a slideshow to show this. Click on the link for Google Slides and make a copy. Work on individually. And I still want this to be under my same topic, so I can't edit here. I'm not gonna have a due date. I'm gonna have it 100. I'm gonna put it under my same topic. So the good thing about this, so let's say my topic is this, then everything here would be under my topic. And if they go here, what you can do is you can go in here and go ahead and kind of like if you want to add a thing for them or have it set up for them, you can. So that way they can just easily make a copy of it here. So they can click this and then it's already set up for them and all they have to do is go to file, make a copy, entire presentation, make a copy, and then it'll make a copy for them to save directly, but it still will have that same template for them. So you can easily take these tools and use them very easily. You can and the good thing about these tools can be interchangeably or you can just use them by yourself. But all students can collaborate together and you are able to conquer those learning tasks with using digital collaboration, and that can help students be more engaged with the lesson. It also gives students a way for them to kind of like be a lead in their learning because they have access to the tools and they can make it how they want it. It's also very fun. We know now with the 21st century that technology is enhancing and it's steadily enhancing as time goes. So this is a way to also engage students with technology and showing them and teaching them how to use different tools and also making collaboration fun in the classroom. So by the end of this training, you have learned to collaborate using digital tools. You can tackle learning outcomes digitally. And you can also use collaborative digital tools. Thank you again for joining in on this professional development training.